Joe Vard in the Athletic. Really back and forth game there in the first half. How much do you think Rodney's foot and being out played into what happened there in the second half?
Well, I don't know how much it played into it, but we certainly needed Rodney that second half when we found out at halftime that he would not be able to return. I had to make a decision as far as who would take his place. In doing so, I knew that would kind of disrupt the substitution pattern, which we were already limited with bodies as we were. But it was just it was unfortunate that he couldn't come back that second half. But still, I think in looking overall as far as the game was concerned, gotta get credit where credit is due. Sacramento plays with an incredible pace. They're nowhere near the team they were last year as far as pace is concerned, and that was a problem for us. We talked about it before the game as far as making sure that we got back, making sure we got matched, we got bodies on bodies. But I really felt like they exposed us in every area, and I haven't felt like that all year long as far as our opponents are concerned. But I give credit where credit is due. They played a heck of a game.
How bad is Rodney?
I don't know how bad he is. Whether he'll play tomorrow or not, I have no idea. All I was told was it was his right foot was sore, and he would not return in the second half.
And then I think the trade is official. I know I was messing around with you earlier with Delhi, but you get back a guy that but you lose a guy in George who helped around here while he was here.
Yeah, no. First of all, George Hill has been, he's been the consummate pro, and I talked to him prior to the game and just let him know how much I just appreciate, how he handled this entire situation, because it's not an easy situation to handle. We certainly have high regards for him as a basketball player and as a person as well. And as I told him before the game, I take my hat off to him. I really do, because he, this was not a tough situation for any veteran player to be in. But understanding the nature of the business, he was very, very, complimentary with his stint here and also his teammates and I as I told him, I said, I just take my hat off to you, man, just with everything that you've done, everything you have endured, and wish him nothing but the best. I have not gotten a chance to speak with Sam Decker yet, but I will catch up with him as soon as I get done with this press conference.
Emmett Golden, ESPN Cleveland. How much, if at all, do you think the news of a couple teammates being traded before the game affected the guys tonight?
I don't know. Those news like that, it affect guys in different ways. Certainly, when a player gets to the gym for the game and all of a sudden there's a trade and his team, a couple of his teammates are no longer here. I think it can have some effect on them. I won't use it as an excuse for us being beaten tonight. But those types of things, they affect different guys different ways. 1 minute these guys are a part of the team there and shoot around this morning going through everything, and then a few hours later they come to the arena for the game and those guys are gone. It can have an effect on players. As far as our guys are concerned, I don't know how much of an effect it had on them or if it did affect them. Like I said, I know it does affect different guys different ways, but we certainly, with having limited bodies, you have to shuffle some things around and just make it through, the game. And then, tomorrow's game, again, we may be shorthanded, particularly if Rodney doesn't play. So we just have to wait and see.
When do you expect the guys to get here, and how soon do you think Delhi will, be able to get out there?
I really have no knowledge as far as when they get here.
Okay.
That's something that I'll have to talk with Kobe about after we're down here.
Coach Brendan Gulick, 92.3 The Fan. Two questions for you. The first one's about your defense in the first half. They started 10 of 12 from the floor and then went 8 of 38 the rest of that first half. What changed for you defensively that all of a sudden you were able to hold them at a much more reasonable rate?
Well, probably that quick timeout I called at the very beginning of the game. I didn't like what I was seeing from a defensive standpoint. I just thought that we showed no sign of any type of physicality, and they were scoring just too easily. And after the timeout, I thought we picked it up just a little bit, but as we got into the second quarter, we went small. It's funny, they went at the start of the game. We were big, they were small, and they hurt us. And then we went small, they went big, and we hurt them. So when we had actually JC and Alec in there together, and then Jetty at the 4, we started doing some things pretty well. The ball was really moving. We got some easy basket. We made a few shots. I believe we were down 15 that first half. We were able to come back. But the smaller lineup did do us some good. Yeah, it did us a lot of good.
I'm interested, too, about Jetty's situational awareness. I felt like there were times in the first half where he clearly wasn't forcing shots, passing up shots that were contested, and there were times where he really got to the rim well. Where have you seen him take that next step?
Well, the one thing that Jetty, he's really good at is reading the closeout, and that's something I try to encourage him to do more often than not. When the ball is being swung, instead of just looking for the 3, you got a big guy closing out on you, go ahead and put it on the deck and get to the basket. I thought first half, he was really good with that. Jetty's getting better. He's getting better. He's starting to read situations. He's starting to understand, have a real understanding about what it is he needs to do out there. You can sometimes you can set on the 3 shot a little bit too much, and I don't look at him as that type of player. I think he's a slasher first and then a shooter second. So he's got to attack the rim. He attacks the rim. That'll open up the perimeter shot for him. Which he gets his feet set. I feel comfortable with him shooting that shot. So he's growing in that area, and I'm going to continue to encourage him to stay aggressive, keep attacking the rim, but certainly when you have the opportunity to get your feet set, look to knock that shot down.